We just concluded with some of the best that the Rocket League World RLCS had to offer between that of PSG and Rogue. And now we transition over to some of the newest offerings that we have there with that of the Peeps. They'll be taken on Afterthought. I am your host, Wade Dreadnought Penfold, and I'll be guiding you through all the Rocket League action this weekend. And as always, here up with me at the desk, we got Gibbs and we got Turtle. Guys, what are we thinking here? Peeps up against Afterthought. This one is, at least from my standpoint, a little bit harder to decipher what I can be expecting.
Yeah.
This is all about riding that hot hand, right? The Peeps are coming in. They just qualified for DreamHack Valencia, beating 5 teams in the RLCS. Then the promotion tournament, they win that. So that's 2 more wins. That's a 7-match winning streak, as long as you don't count the one where they played Energy, which everyone loses to Energy. So the Peeps, you can't get hotter than what you're doing right now.
Right, and I think they just need to ride the momentum. I mean, nobody sleeps on the Peeps. That's what the saying should be, because they have a lot of talent, a lot of potential, and they might not be the most experienced teams or players, but I think they're definitely here and ready to show what they have.
I think you just came up with your first commentator motto right there. You just did it.
Right
Yeah,
there?
you should dust the shoulder off, man.
He might have stole it, but that's okay.
Wait, who did he steal it from?
It's all Corelli. That's all Corelli from the rival series.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Corelli, I'll give it to you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I like it. I like it there, though. But not sleeping on the Peeps has got to be the game plan there for Afterthought. And though we know more here on the side of the Peeps, you know, what can you guys tell me here about Afterthought? Because, you know, I think for a lot of people at home, they're merely just that, an afterthought.
So they were in the rival series as well, where the Peeps were, but they have a sub. So they have Tyler Shock and now Dino. We had Hato in before, who had some RLCS experience, and we thought they would have a better season. They finished near the bottom of the rival series, so it wasn't a great season. Now they're bringing in Dino. I don't know if we can expect a lot for them versus the Peeps here.
Yeah, I definitely think Tyler is the one I'm going to be looking at the most. Probably the veteran of the team. Maybe the most mechanically skilled, I'm not quite sure yet, but I think out of all the players, he's probably going to take charge, especially with his veteran experience and what he has to offer for the team.
So if you are Afterthought going into this series, you can probably expect to be a bit more on that underdog side.
For sure.
What are the primary things we need to do to make sure that the Peeps kind of crumble in their offensive prowess?
So I want to see Shock, because he was one of those great storylines with the old Afterthought when they made the WSOE qualifiers. They made it all the way through that ruthless bracket for North America, so they qualified for that. So he's got some clutch factor there. So if he begins to get going, then Tyler's right there with all that experience. You never know. The Peeps are on a hot streak, but the one thing that you have to watch out for is, like, when they start losing, will they continue to do so? Because they're not used to it at this point.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing to consider is, for these underground teams at least, is that they can all perform on offense. I think offense is a for sure thing that most people have down, but it's the defense of these underground teams and the way that they rotate, and if they don't get mixed up. You know, we saw Pink Hair Fan Club. It's hard to remember that name.
Rest in peace, Pink Hair Fan Club.
Going against Rogue, and they had solid offense, but on defense they started just mixing up and getting jumbled together. So if Aftershock can maintain some kind of level of defense, they have a solid shot, especially going against a lower level team like Peeps.
And you know, just being a little bit more macro of a glance here, actually, you know what? We're just going to get things underway with this series and take a closer glance. On this side, it is going to be the Peeps here.
So the Peeps, they are like the hardcore fan favorite, right? They've been in the rival series forever. Here we see Arsenal, but like everyone was rooting for them to make it to the RLCS, for the ones that watch the rival series, because they've been here for so long. They bring in Reddles, who is extremely confident. That is the best thing I can say about him. He expects to win everything. He expects to beat probably G2 Vitality and Energy combined. So these guys have a lot of confidence, but that's the thing, that first game, right? They need to come out hot to just keep going.
And you got to aim high. And Gyro, to me, it feels like the finisher of this group, in my opinion. I think I see him, a little flash right there, pulling through the most, I think, with the shots. But coming in for Aftershock, you know, I'm just curious who's going to...
I thought, but I think that shows the impact that Shock needs to have. It's because they might need to be an Aftershock.
Cosmic Aftershock is confusing.
I know. It's a great team name. It's a great team name. But they're coming in. They're definitely the underdogs. They've been here before. Tyler, he's played on Allegiance. He's played in the RLCS. He knows how to play on a big stage. He's made it through one promotion tournament before. So high-pressure situations, he is ready for it. Shock, he kept the name Afterthought after Birds and the Bees actually dropped him. He was expecting a better rival series run than they had. It didn't really work out. And now Dino, that new kid on the block, right? He's coming in. He's subbing for these guys. And we'll see what kind of impact he has, because we don't have much on him right now.
Yeah, Sorry, I just got a bit of flashbacks there. He actually just reminds me of an old teammate I used to have, like 1-to-1, like very, just a young, ambitious, little curly head, red hair kid. It just stood out to me there. It's going to be exciting to see. I had no idea that Dino was as young as he is actually here. So, can't help but feel like there's got to be a lot to be looking at when it comes to him and the amount of pressure that might be bearing on them, whether it be self-imposed or actually just be on the field itself. Usually that emotional strength comes with time, and I think that players like, Scrub Killer has really admitted to a lot of that. It doesn't matter how great you are, learning how to lose and dealing with losses can be maybe a majority of the challenge depending on who you are.
It's like these kids have to grow up fast, right? They have to play under this high-pressure situation. You were playing in the RLCS when you were 15, right? So what was that like for you, Turtle?
It's really overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's almost like you don't know how to feel. You just want to get up there and try and play your best. But the funny thing is that you go in expecting to perform as you normally do. You're like, I'm in front of a couple people. How can it make a difference? But then you get on stage and you start competing, and you are so confused. You feel completely out of place, and like you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I bet. I honestly didn't know you were 15 when you competed. That's very impressive, but at the same time, I can empathize with that overwhelmingness, though I've never experienced that my exact self there, Turtle. But, now is the time here to lay out the predictions here. I feel like it seems like a lot of us seem to be on the side of the Peeps, but I can't help but feel like that's just the name. They just made themselves into the RLCS. It's kind of hard to go against that.
Yeah, they have proven that they are the better team. They played in the rival series, and now, of course, with Afterthought, they're bringing in a sub. So you expect even worse from them, and the Peeps are riding that hot streak, man, and I think it will continue maybe even all the way to day number 3. I could see them making some upsets, so I have the Peeps here.
Yeah, I think the Peeps are going to be the upset team. I think they're going to win this match. I'm going for the Peeps. And I think they're just going to prove themselves here. And it's not like they're going to be becoming too overconfident. They definitely know who they're playing against and are familiar with the names. So I think that's going to, help them just to keep composure and to go in with a solid performance.
Yeah, and I'm going to share the same here when it comes to the Peeps. And that's mainly just because even when I look at the names of Afterthought, I struggle to go, I've heard of that. There's been a moment, I've seen a clip, something of the likes when it comes to them. And the Peeps, as you already have posed here, outside of the series with NRG, they have been pretty successful, even against teams that are, debatably, quote-unquote, better than this roster.
Yeah, and this is perfect experience for them, right? That they come to Dallas where it's more local so they can actually make it out, but then they qualify for Valencia. Like, they were not going to be flying to Spain, probably. So 2 big tournaments for them to get ready for the next season of RLCS. Very similar to what I feel like Bread was this season. They have potential to make a World Championship run, but it all starts with these 2 DreamHacks to get that experience under their belt.
Yeah, and you were a big fan of Bread early on.
I was. I still am. They disappointed me today. Space Station.
It happens.
On,
we all have our hopes. We all have our team.
Pink hair.
I know. Pink hair
where
too.
was that?
I should stop rooting for teams.
I was waiting.
I was sitting there on the Chicago hype train, and he was probably the least active out of all the members, at least offensively
but
speaking.
They won at least
for G2. You are right. At least I had that going for me here. As we take a look at the vote at home, my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, they're 96 in favor of the Peeps.
See, the thing is, sometimes you have that underdog pick, so you get some picks for that. But the Peeps are such a fan favorite back.
Yeah.
Like, in Twitch chat, we're probably seeing a lot of Don't Sleep on the Peeps coming out. People love this team, so I expect a very high vote for them.
Well, we're going to go ahead and get things underway here then. We're going to go and send it to the commentary team of JamesBot and Jorby here to bring this action to you.
We might have to get rid of Don't Sleep on the Peeps because
4%
those numbers
of people,
don't lie.
there's 4% of people still
They're still
sleeping on
sleeping,
it.
so maybe we should still be crying until we get 100%
Yeah, until
Peeps.
it's 100.
Yeah, fair
I
enough.
don't think that saying is going to go away, Jorby.
Fair enough. The Peeps have definitely had quite a run. And at DreamHack so far, they went down to Barcelona 0-3, but then again, who hasn't gone down 0-3 to Barcelona?
Barcelona, another team coming from the rival series that just jettisoned to the top of Europe. So it's no shame in that. But the Peeps, they're an RLCS team now as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they have a lot of potential ahead of them as well. So it's going to be exciting to see how they start their land journey here today at Dallas.
And, that promotion tournament run that they went on, it wasn't just, they snuck on by and got into the RLCS. No, they took it on and they won hard. You go.
I was just laughing at.
I know.
These guys. You saw the Peeps looking up at the screen. They're like, "Hey, we're on the screen." That's pretty cool.
It's really great. There's a reason that Peeps are the fan favorites. Look at the smile. You can't hate that smile. That's a smile perfect for the camera. Arsenal's ready to go. These guys are ready to play some Rocket League. Getting into this first game. And you just can't hate it. Afterthought versus the Peeps underway. Shock off the kickoff, takes it himself. And it's turned away by Reynolds. Tyler back here in midfield, coming in. Shock, the shot on, blocked by Arsenal. And a quick miss. Shock waiting for this, but it's a pass from Dino out. Arsenal and Reynolds combined downfield. Gyro just misses. No goal.
That pass was beautiful, but now on the other end, the counterattack. The overcommit from the Peeps. They threw it all at the net on that previous play, and then Ty is able to get the pass out to Shock in the middle, and Afterthought strike first.
And you can understand how the Peeps felt moving down the field. You saw Gyro up, and you thought, no question, we have that goal. And next thing you know, it's 1-0 the other way. So a good counter from Afterthought. And Dino, that bounces off the ramp past Reynolds. And Gyro able to lightly throw it over to the opposite side of the orange half as Tyler moves it right back. Dino's shot is good, and it's 2-0 here for Afterthought.
Dino, the new addition, making an impact early, and again it's Ty off the wall feeding his teammates, but that shot from Dino, that's what you're looking for someone coming in as the replacement.
Already making waves here in the first game. Again, this is to get to day number 2. There are no more lives left for either of these squads. That shot blocked. And now turn the other way. Shock has a one-on-one opportunity against Reynolds. Taking it slow. Arsenal close behind. Shock scores. 3-0 for Afterthought.
And you can see Shock was getting creeped up on from behind. The demo almost coming out, but Arsenal must have been out of boost. The challenge not going his way. And Shock will just 50-50 that one right into the net. Afterthought up 3 goals, and we're barely past a minute into game 1.
When it looked like at the beginning it was going to be the Peeps, and it just completely flips in that 1 minute.
And it's understandable. This is, game 1 on the main stage. I expect to see a few jitters. We'll see if that continues on in this game 1 or if the Peeps start to stabilize.
Well, Shock challenge there, and Dino looking to break past Arsenal. Tough spot there. Another one-on-one opportunity for Afterthought on that play. Reynolds gets up off the pass from Tyler, and Arsenal has a shot. Arsenal has a goal, has it, and finally the Peeps on the board.
3:16 left on the clock, a goal here. This is big. This puts Peeps back in the game. There's so much time for them to equalize. That start from Arsenal is exactly what the Peeps needed.
Dino just wasn't able to get the touch far out, away enough from the post, and the post ended up being his worst enemy. But he makes up for it. Quick pass from Shock to Dino. Tyler, right in to Arsenal, picks up the save. Quick pass out again to Shock. It was actually off the challenge. Reynolds ended up giving it right to Dino. Dino high off the backboard. Dino just missing. Shock picks it up, and he slowed it down in front of the box. But Gyro picks up the save. So even though the Peeps got that goal, James, it's Afterthought who keep the Jets churning.
They certainly do, but they're going to have to keep that defense churning as well. One of the things that Des talked about was these teams, a lot of times the offense is something that's a little bit easier to figure out than the defense. When the game pace picks up, it's hard to keep those rotations clean, but almost that attack coming to fruition as well. So we'll see if Afterthought's defense can perform as well as their offense has so far in game 1.
Reynolds gets this to Arsenal. It's challenged by Tyler again. The Peeps a little too far up. Gyro having to come back and race to buy some time for his team. Dino a chance to headhunt on the line, but Reynolds avoids it and takes the clear out past midfield. Gyro gets a win on the challenge as well. Hit up high, might be a good turning point for the Peeps. Quick pass, Reynolds is blocked by Dino on his way out of the field. So the Peeps able to stabilize, but it still looks shaky at times on the transition. They have to be careful. They got to make sure that back end is clear. Arsenal got bumped into that play. Tyler wanting to keep it away from that Peeps offense.
So far, so good for Afterthought. They're burning time off the clock. They're holding defensively. Afterthought looking to make a statement here in game 1.
Afterthought, this was a team a lot of people expected to make the rival series coming into the season 7 of RLCS and fell short of those expectations. The Peeps not only making the rival series, but making the RLCS. Here comes Shock trying to bring it to the new RLCS crew. And they still retain this 2-goal lead. Reynolds up against the back wall. There's Gyro, just high. Oh, and Arsenal got denied by Shock on his launch. And now Ty-Not Tyler headed the other way for Afterthought. Carries this low, and Reynolds able to clear it for now. And the miss by Dino maybe gives him a chance at the ball. Shock can't clear it away. Gyro gets chipped out. Arsenal's there. Arsenal, no, denied!
And what a save that was on the goal line. Shock stepping up for Afterthought. We even saw before that play took place, the physical bumps denying the offensive shots, but still the Peeps are getting denied time after time. Afterthought looking good in game one.
And Arsenal able to get back on a potential breakaway from Shock. The Peeps now just looking to get a goal with some time left on the clock. Off the ceiling, Gyro can't find the read. Arsenal picks it up. They will pick up one goal and give themselves a chance with 18 seconds.
A defensive blunder here. This one off the ceiling. Shock thinking that Gyro was going to have it and then coming out and missing his hit. That left the net wide open for Arsenal. 18 seconds left. Peeps down by 1. Can they do it?
He needs something off the kickoff. Gyro fighting Ty-Not Tyler for the ball. Here's Reynolds, puts it on target, and it's denied by Shock. The walls stand tall. Arsenal, another one denied by Dino. Gyro tries to cut it off. Can they get one more chance? Reynolds, Arsenal, shot!
Arsenal!
Goal! Tie game!
We're going to overtime, baby! This ball was so close to touching the ground, or it does touch the ground. It's hit on a perfect hop by Arsenal. There was no time to spare. You could see the clock hitting 0 just after the bounce. What a play.
Big moment for the Peeps. A quick turnaround. And now Afterthought have to hold on to the surging triple threat in this team. Gyro up high. Ty-Not Tyler picks this up. Shock carries this himself off the side wall. Is denied by Arsenal. The Peeps having to play defense yet again. Reynolds picks this up for Gyro. Arsenal on the opposite side. Has the boost and has the ball. Takes this out against the back wall, and he's caught by Ty-Not Tyler. Still Reynolds looking to battle, and he's gonna lose that one as Shock picks this up. He's by 1. Shock rolls it around, and no! Dino can't score! Afterthought, a huge chance wasted.
That was so close. Shock doing everything he could there to generate an opportunity. And now on the other end, the Peeps looking to strike back, but now a full field counterattack. And that shot,
it's good!
Finds the mark!
Ty-Not Tyler gets the goal! Shock up for this first, but playing the bully in the net. Dino goes straight for the bump. He forces Arsenal up early, and Arsenal focused on trying to not only just avoid the bump, but also get the block. It looked like he was going to accomplish both, but just wide of the net. And Afterthought, they do hang on after an incredible comeback from the Peeps.
And that was an exciting finish. I mean, down by 2, 18 seconds left. Arsenal puts the first one in. Then this one, it bounces. Time goes to 0. Arsenal gets the equalizer and forces overtime. It seemed like all the momentum was going in the favor of the Peeps.
Yeah, it really felt like it was their game to lose. And then overtime, it resets. Same boost totals, reset field, and a great play by Afterthought to finish things in game number 1. If that's a telling for the rest of the series, we're in for a real treat the whole way through.
And we did see a little bit of a defensive lapse by Afterthought in those final seconds. They blew a 2-goal lead with 18 seconds left on the clock, but they still managed to get the win. So that is so big for your mentality, for your confidence going into these next games. That could have been disaster for Afterthought, but they pulled it together.
And the Peeps had a couple of goals that went in that, felt preventable. They are preventable mistakes. Just a little too far up the field, a little too aggressive against Afterthought is what killed them. Too many one-on-one opportunities and breakaways for Afterthought. So if they shore that up and make it a little tougher for Afterthought, the Peeps, no question, will keep on trucking through this series. But it's Afterthought with series advantage. In game number 2, the Peeps look to right the ship. Afterthought gonna keep cruising. Starts with Gyro, has a touch out. It's blocked by Dino, and Dino has stepped in supremely well for someone we don't have a lot of data on coming into this series. Has really answered the call.
But it's still very early on in the series. That game one was something else. We'll see how the series shapes up. It's a critical game here. The Peeps can't afford to lose another one right now.
And Gyro takes this himself, looking for Tyler in the midair bump. It does give him some space for Arsenal. It's right into Dino, and again, Reynolds forced back. He came up on the other side of the third, expecting the ball to come his way, but it just put him in a bad spot on the return. And again, the transition is something that killed the Peeps in game one. Afterthought downfield. Here's Dino. Back to Shock. Shock against the backboard. And no follow-up coming. Tyler having to wait for the rebound. He's out of boost. Dino can't find it. That's just wide. And another shot just high. Gyro has to come around. He recorrects off the crossbar. It bounces out. Saved by Afterthought.
Gyro just, he was unlimited boost. So he had to go for it the way he did. And even the pass before it could have been a shot, a good scoring opportunity. Now gone by the wayside for the Peeps, but they're not giving up.
A lot of offense. Gyro takes this, looking for a read against Ty. Tyler carries this out. Arsenal picks this up on the mix-up, around the corner. Boomed away. But midfield still belongs to the Peeps. Gyro, he finds his man, and Arsenal scores. The Peeps first on the board.
Arsenal has been surgical with shooting for the Peeps. Keeps it going here. Good height, great placement, right underneath the crossbar. No hope for saving that one, and the Peeps take the lead.
The new RLCS team, the Peeps. It hasn't been easy in North America for RLCS teams not named the Big Three, and rival series teams just battling to either stay in and come to these tournaments at DreamHack and really compete, surprise a lot of fans. The Peeps are no stranger to these players on Afterthought. That one blocked by Tyler.
And these live events, I mean, you ask Turtle, you talk to these players, live events are such a different environment. The Peeps have a ton of online experience, online tournament competition experience, but now when you get to these live events, things change, and it's a whole new muscle that you have to build up strength with.
Ty bounces this for Shock. Shock looking for a shot. He's gonna get one, but it's off the crossbar. Still saved by the Peeps. And now downfield, Arsenal up high against Shock, who has the block out to Tyler. Afterthought able to manage things on defense. They need some more offense. Dino wins that challenge, but can't get back down to it. The Peeps going the other way again. Gyro has a shot on net, forcing Afterthought up. Reynolds down straight off the ceiling, but it's read by Dino, carrying it out again. And Gyro, a huge force for this team in the promotion tournament to get them to the RLCS. Had a lot of solid shots, and usually it's Arsenal, the one who scores a lot for this team. He's done so today. Arsenal looking to tap it up to Reynolds. Reynolds off the ceiling, blocked by Tyler. Off to Gyro, looking for Arsenal. Blocked by Shock, but it's still Gyro's ball, denied again. Afterthought feeling the pressure. Reynolds, pass out to Arsenal, looking for Reynolds. He's got him. Where's Gyro? There he is. Pass blocked. Denied by Dino.
It's been keep away for the Peeps for what seemed like minutes, but Afterthought holding firm, but now still not out of the woods just yet as Ty has to come out to make that save.
Raced for it. Afterthought are really feeling the pressure. But Dino again on the point. How does he take this? Pass to Shock, up high against the backboard. Dino's got the read. Tyler can't get there. Double commit by the Peeps. In the corner, up high for Shock. Arsenal, not the best touch, and it's a play for Dino. Arsenal stays up, able to catch it, at least get it to the corner.
And a smart defensive play by Arsenal. He was expecting that double tap hit, so he stays high on the backboard, and it comes right to him, and he's able to clear that out. That went from scoring opportunity to easily cleared ball.
Afterthought, 20 seconds left to get on the board here in game two. Gyro a little too much on the ball, gives it right back to Ty. Now Dino in the rotation, bounces it high. Here's Shock. Shock shot blocked by Gyro, followed up by Reddles. Transition for the Peeps. Ty gonna give his team one last shot at the ball, but Reddles denies him the opportunity. Around the corner we go, and the Peeps tie things up in the series.
And a smart boost steal there that prevents the game from continuing on. A shutout, a very low-scoring game. Just one goal scored by Arsenal on his pinpoint accurate shot. And the Peeps turn it around.
Love what you saw from the Peeps, especially on offense. They weren't able to capitalize, but the one goal they did end up getting. Tyler didn't get the best touch out. Both members of Afterthought too far back to do anything about it. And it's just a nice tee from Gyro to Arsenal.
Yeah, and that flick, you know, flipping into it, using the spoiler area of your car to get that extra height, that allowed Arsenal to be able to get up and get that power, beat the defender, get a nice angle on the net, executes the shot. Arsenal so good with his shooting, putting it on display there. And now we're all tied up at 1 apiece.
And Afterthought still had solid chances on the net. They only generated 2 shots, but both shots are ones that the Peeps had to really reach for, make the save. The very last one that Gyro came down off the backboard to make a save. So it is anybody's series right now. Flip a coin. Both of these teams going at each other's throats right now.
And it's because they know that there is no more room left for errors. This is it. Like you're saying, this is it. You're either going to day 2 or you're going to be watching from the sidelines tomorrow.
And as day 2 is shaping up, it is not an easy day 2. It gets so much tougher the rest of the way. You just want to get there, get a nice night's rest. But game number 3, the pivot game, who takes this series to match point? Shock up for this off the back wall, has a second touch, but Arsenal denies him. Reddles booms this one away. Tyler. We'll play this one up again. Gyro aggressive on the touch. Dino trying to keep it towards Shock. A dangerous touch. Arsenal's shot is blocked by Dino. Reddles shoots and scores. The Peeps on the board.
The Peeps picked it up right where they left off. Shock trying to get it out. Arsenal going for that. And you could even see Gyro trying to get a piece of Dino right there. It looks like he might have even had it. But Reddles comes in to clean up Peeps. They peppered the net a lot last game. It didn't really lead to much, but this time they get a goal early.
Dino just trying to get 2 demos out of this, or at least a bump and a demo. Afterthought still have this in the corner. Shock out in front of the box. Arsenal over everybody. And able to get back in time with Shock, but it's Gyro's ball off the crossbar. And it looked like Shock may have gotten a piece of it, but it headed the other way anyway.
And that was the right idea. We saw Gyro recognize the net was open. He tried to get the ball down. It was a wonderful shot, just inches away from going in. And now the follow-up, Gyro getting it this time, 2-0 for the Peeps.
With a quick pass from Gyro back over to Arsenal, still waiting closely. This was a really tight rotation on offense from the Peeps. So that first pass, confusion from Afterthought about who exactly was going for that ball on the turn, and then just faster to the ball with how close both players were shadowing each other. An excellent passing play from both Gyro and Arsenal. Afterthought, quickly, can they respond? Well, Dino is denied by Arsenal.
And Afterthought was shut out last game. This shutout continuing, the Peeps really locking down on defense after that game 1.
And maybe what you expected out of the Peeps, considering their recent run. One of the hotter teams in Rocket League right now. And Afterthought, really, like you said, James, since game 1, they've just struggled to break out of their own half. So far in this game, only generating 1 shot on net. In the last 7 games of the last 7 minutes of Rocket League, a total of 3 shots. It has not been pretty.
And I think that just comes down to the Peeps getting their nerves under control. Again, this live event atmosphere is so much different. Something that you have to get used to. And the longer the series goes on, the more that aspect goes into the back of your head.
Reddles, the ball finds its way to Gyro. Gyro looking to keep it low against the back wall. Arsenal wins cleanly. Reddles against the back wall as well. The Peeps, some space and looking to chip everybody away, but Gyro will take a free one from his own box. And denied this time, but the Peeps still with some space. Reynolds makes one miss. Trying to get over. Not Tyler. Dino, not the best clear. The shot on for Arsenal. He'll take that one all day. 3-0 Peeps.
Arsenal keeps his scoring streak going. Dino, unfortunately for him, hits that ball straight up and off the ceiling, out in the middle. Arsenal will have an unassisted opportunity that he puts away.
An afterthought. It really started out well. Just haven't found their footing. Continuing to sink into the quicksand out of the Peeps. Not Tyler and Dino will try to jumpstart this stalled offense. Reynolds back over to Arsenal for the Peeps. That shot's good. Not Tyler and Dino combined needed the support. Not Tyler got it, but still Afterthought struggling to get even a solid clear. And when they do, it's right back over to the Peeps. Dino might be their first real chance. He expected Arsenal to go up, and Arsenal went under. Shock, back to Not Tyler. A double demo, still Afterthought can't find their way into the back of the net.
But Afterthought getting some quality attack going, finally breaking through the Peeps defense. It took a while, but they managed to get it done.
A good challenge by Shock. He got on the left side of that ball and flipped into it to try to force that ball just out to the middle of the box. Knew he had someone ready to at least get a chance on net. Dino took advantage. He picks it up. And you know, 2 goals with a minute 40 left. It's not the worst situation to be in. A tough one nonetheless.
We saw the Peeps in game 1 get 2 in 18 seconds.
Not out of the question for Afterthought, but a demo takes one out. Reynolds looking for another. Everybody avoiding demos left and right. Everyone forgot about the ball.
They forgot about the ball in the net. They were just focusing on each other right there.
Oopsies, demolition derby. Afterthought, shot on, blocked by Arsenal. Dino, looked like he wanted to go back to it. Reynolds keeps it away. Not Tyler, Afterthought, starting to chip their way here into the blue half. Arsenal, with some space against Shock, has him beat by a mile. And the Peeps, this is just more time wasted off the clock. Not Tyler carries this and just loses the ball on his carry up. Reynolds, does he have that? He does. The Peeps score again, making it a no question for the Peeps.
A wonderful read here by Reynolds. You can see both Dino and Shock going back to that, but they didn't want to commit to denying that backboard. One of them absolutely had to. It was going to be a tough one to predict, to read, but Reynolds was going to hit it if they didn't go up, and they didn't. Sure enough, Reynolds puts that one in.
The Peeps, again, a critical game number 3. To take this to match point, 30 seconds, an Afterthought. Now, their offense is an afterthought, but Shock does pick up one. 26 seconds left, down by 2.
Technically, Shock does pick up one here. This one,
technically,
a little bit of a misplay. You can see the laps.
Errors.
You can see the laps coming out from the Peeps on the side of your screen. Everybody laughing, really. Afterthought, chuckling. We'll see if they can get one more and maybe make something incredible happen.
Now it's boomed downfield again by the Peeps. Afterthought, if they do have a chance, they have to score with time left on the clock. Shock. Too high for Dino to catch. Not Tyler wants to carry it out. Arsenal makes his job tough. Shock clears it out down the field, but Gyro gets it off the back wall. The Peeps up 2-1 in the series. They are 1 game away from heading to day 2.
After that heartbreaking game 1 loss, after their epic 18-second 2-goal comeback, the Peeps rally with 2 straight wins, shutting down Afterthought on offense. There really was not much Afterthought had going. And this game on the offensive side was really dominated in all aspects by the Peeps.
And Not Tyler on that attempt, trying to get Afterthought back into the game, as he launched into it, he lost control of the ball, just popped a little higher than he would have wanted, and it turned into disaster and really put the game out of reach for Afterthought. And really, the Peeps aren't playing that much differently than they played in game number 1. They're still playing super aggressively. It's just they're winning those challenges, and so they're not getting punished for it.
Yeah, and they're not giving any space to Afterthought, any space or time, and they're so quick in the air. You saw Reynolds. Shock tried to deny that last goal from Reynolds. that he read off the backboard, but Reynolds was just too fast. Even Arsenal so fast to get up in the air and striking that ball with authority. The Peeps on offense, it just seems like it's going to be too much for Afterthought to handle, but they're not out of it just yet. Afterthought can bounce back here and force that final Game 5, and they'll have to if they want to avoid being eliminated on day 1 here in DreamHack Dallas.
And the Peeps not intent to let that happen. Afterthought. They seem to be perennially so close, just not close enough. Now's their chance to try to redeem that, but instead, it's the Peeps. Reynolds finishes it for the Peeps. 1-0.
5 seconds in, you see Shock a little lost in the corner. They needed Shock to get that boost efficiently and to get up to that challenge cleanly. He wasn't able to do it. That left a hole in their defense, and it was exploited. And the Peeps, 5 seconds in, already up by 1. That is not the start you want if you're Afterthought.
Non-existent offense has killed them in games 2 and 3. Will game number 4 be more of the same? Shock tries to boom this away. Arsenal, Gyro turning around up, but picked up by Dino. Shock back over to Dino as Afterthought with Shock lose to Gyro on the opposite side. Reynolds just missing wide, but still Arsenal close by. He's able to follow up quickly on the miss and almost finds his way to the net. Reynolds keeps this in play. Outside the box, challenged by Ty-Not Tyler. Arsenal carrying this one himself, just tries to make himself as wide as possible in front of that ball. Gyro now off the corner, has the read missed, doesn't matter. Reynolds scores 2-0 for the Peeps.
Yeah, and this is one of those situations where the miss there actually helps them out. The defense positioning for the shot. You see Ty waiting out in the middle, and now Reynolds just comes in and cleans up house.
The best whiffs, ones that turn into goals for the Peeps. Afterthought. Starting with Ty-Not Tyler. Dino and Shock trying to move forward. Here's Dino. Dino the sub for Afterthought. He's had a couple of nice plays, some good continuations, but really it's just all of Afterthought struggling against this Peeps team. Wasn't really able to hang on to the ball. Gyro. That one turned away by Dino. It's high. And again, Peeps got midfield locked down. More of the same as we were in game number 3.
It's just speed of play. You know, the Peeps can play at a faster pace than Afterthought. They had a slow start in game 1, but since then, they've really cranked it up, and it's been difficult for Afterthought to deal with.
Shock having to play away from Reynolds, who just gets in his face. Ty-Not Tyler can't do anything either. Gyro sneaks his way through, puts on a shot. 3-0 for the Peeps.
Shock getting dunked on by Reynolds right there. Shock would have cleared that off to the corner, but the Reynolds challenge actually puts the ball off the back or the sidewall and back out to Gyro for the 3rd goal for the Peeps. They were starting to run away with game 4, closing in on that surefire win and a presence in day 2.
Giving Afterthought a taste of their own medicine. Afterthought had scored 3 goals at the very start, or 2 goals at the very start of game number 1. But we haven't seen the same Afterthought since. That one knocked away by Gyro. And Shock hits that into Reynolds. He does take the pass, but it's just not going anywhere. Shock wins. He gets through a defender. Arsenal able to clear it out to the side wall. This one's up high. Shock does have it cut off in midfield. Ty-Not Tyler can't get there in time against Gyro. Gyro flips it over 1. Shock forced to make a touch out to Ty, and Ty misses that. That was a breakaway opportunity for Afterthought. Dino wins this challenge. Maybe they can still make something out of it.
That could have been a chance that they won that challenge. It would have been a numbers advantage. A good bump coming out there. Now the ball's sent deep. Some physical play on both sides coming out.
Dino looking for this long pass downfield. Ty does pick this up. Arsenal back over to Gyro. There hasn't been much action in front of the Peeps box. That is a shot just off the crossbar. Reynolds gets back to it. Reynolds scores 4-0. The Peeps, a dominant performance in game 4.
A shot indeed. It looks like a little header here from Reynolds. And then he goes in reverse recorrects his positioning and goes for the shot. An awkward situation, but Reynolds makes the most of it.
Afterthought. Start praying to the Rocket League gods. Because down 4-0, a minute 40 left, nothing short of a miracle will bring them back in this series. The Peeps started off shaky and you thought this might be real back and forth, but instead they come out from game 2 onward and they never give the series back.
You know, we've seen that from multiple teams today. Teams who we didn't expect to be in a winning situation have the lead, but they somehow give it up. We saw that happen in game 1, and we saw the overtime, but still, the Afterthought was able to pull out that win. But since then, it has just been all Peeps.
And that one, the chance for Dino, but it's turned away, and Ty, his touch out. Well, Gyro going to carry this out. Really, all 3 members of the Peeps getting involved. It's Reynolds with a hat trick in game number 4. But Gyro with 3 assists. Arsenal picks a goal up for himself. His first of game number 4. And the Peeps just don't stop trucking.
And Arsenal coming off the ceiling of his own goal, getting a squishy save to deny the shot and then score on the counterattack. That was nasty.
Just disgusting from Arsenal. You expect to see so much more of that. I mean, it's really just a snapshot of what you're going to get from this Peeps
Exactly. This is an RLCS team now, so next season we'll be seeing them play in the big leagues, but we're already getting a glimpse of that big league play in this series.
And it's almost nothing but RLCS teams heading into day number 2. If you're really wondering how the Peeps stand up, how they write in against these other RLCS teams, well, with 17 seconds left and some fun acrobatics to boot, you're going to get your chance to see it. Don't sleep on the Peeps heading into day number 2. Afterthought can't take them down. Not many other teams have been able to. Only the top of the RLCS have so far. The Peeps hotter than ever. Head to day 2.
The Peeps, after that game 1 that was shaky like we were talking about, come roaring back. 3 straight wins. The Peeps, pure domination. It really was, Jorby.
And GG's to Afterthought. After that game 1, just the Peeps, the faster team on the pitch. And Arsenal coming back, just squaring up on that to keep the ball in play for the Peeps. And it's just disaster then for the Afterthought defense. Reynolds taking advantage of it.
Absolutely. Reynolds having a hat trick this game, also getting involved in the passing. That dunk there leading to Gyro's goal. And then this play right here was spectacular. The header into the reverse setup, turning around, getting that shot back on net. You can see the reactions from what I'm sure is family in the crowd coming here supporting, you know, their family.
The Peeps, they move to day number 2. We have one more game to close out day number 1. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after the break.